All righty then. Welcome everybody. Hey, Chasco, welcome. Hey, Joe. I like your shelf queen. I wouldn't have it as a shelf queen. I'd use it. Industrial switcher's only supposed to pull 1 to 2 cars. So and the grinding makes it sound like it's got sound. Let's get that. Hey, Mike. Welcome. Welcome. How's everybody doing today? It's Friday. Yay. But then again, I'm retired, so every day is Friday. Just rubbing it in. Let's see. If I look dark, it's because I've been running night operations here at the Retirement Railroad. Hey, Lynn, welcome. Where did I get that? This is here. Just to show you what I've been working on. Let's switch over to this, and we'll put that away, and we'll bring up that. So this is the aerial view of the Aurora Eole yard, and the Western Burlington CB&Q Western inbound from all points west, originating in Denver, just arrived at the Aurora Eole yard, and still has to be classified, but that'll be later. Just kind of sharing what's going on. And we can go back to this picture. And let's go back to this one for a second. As you can see, the little industrial switchers running back and forth on the Aurora street view. It pauses for 30 seconds on each end before it goes back the other way. So we'll hang on a second just so you can see it. D. For those of you that were on Caboose Stop Hobbies Wednesday HO edition, I had it all ready to go, and I fell asleep in my recliner. By the way, there went the industrial switcher. So now we can switch back. And thought I didn't pay my electric bill. How would my electric trains be running there, Voodoo? Well, I had my Zephyr running earlier, and then I had the bi-level running, but I noticed one of my cars is sitting low, and I don't know why. Unless the center is sitting low, and I've got adjusted couplers on it. Oh, that's why. I got the wrong. No, they're the right ones. And And what I'm trying to do here with this panel in the way is next to impossible. So let's give me some space to work with. Well, that's good. Just knock over another car. You know, I could make this real easy by just getting my re-railer out, but no, I got to do it the hard way. Yeah, now they're the right height. Go figure. Get the observation back on my Zephyr. So John and I were talking earlier, or typing earlier. No big plans. Anybody got any big plans going on this weekend? Hey, good morning, Scott. Welcome. It's a good morning. From Wisconsin. Bernard, you're not from Wisconsin. You live out in Nevada. Let me see if I can get this thing. If this gets too loud, guys, let me know. Well, shoot. Now I lost a different car. Why is it? Some days everything runs fine. It's kind of like Mounds Almond Joy. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Oh. I guess. They ran last week without a hitch on camera. See if we can make it around without... But Bernard, it's a dry heat. Yeah, Scott, that's it. I'm live. That's the reason. Cool, Lynn. That's great. Yeah, my buddy in England and his family are supposed to come the first part of August, and his wife just got sick with the sea. So I'm hoping that they can still make it. We haven't seen them in 3 years now, 3 or 4 years, because of the showstopper. Normally they come over every other year. Right now it's only 84. It'll get up to about 95 today here. All right, now is she gonna come uncoupled? And if she does, that just means I got to change tracks. Probably change tracks anyway. And that's why I no longer live in the Midwest or Southwest. Jason. Everybody says Florida's oh so hot. It's not as hot as the Midwest or Southwest or practically any place else. Never has hit 100 here in Tampa Bay since they started recording highs and lows. All right, I made it around. Yay! I think this is Anthony's favorite train of mine, too. Correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony. My bi-level commuter train, also known as a dinky. Hey, Artie, welcome. Well, so it never rains there, Lynn? I seem to recall some torrential downpours. That would be 100% humidity. In Oklahoma, I'll never forget, we had a torrential downpour. All right. And the pavement was dry. It's like 113 degrees out, and it started like a typical Oklahoma gully washer, and the pavement stayed dry. Oh, crap. I knew I should have changed route. Oh, it's the end car. I guess it's time to vacuum the track. Hello, Jared. Welcome, everybody. This is Jared. He's a new subscriber. If you don't know him. Well, the problem with dry heat like that, Jason, is you'll get dehydrated and not even know it because you're not sweating. You go out in Arizona, and I was playing golf, and I didn't sweat. Well, somebody informed me that I did sweat because after I almost passed out from heat stroke. An avid Carol fan, yes, sir, Jason. You gotta love Carol. Everybody, I think everybody's sick on my Friday shows of me talking about caboose stop hobbies. I mean, you know, and if I am not mistaken, and I could be wrong, but if memory serves, when I was in college at Iowa State, I dated a girl at UNI there in Cedar Falls, Waterloo, and I'm almost positive I went to that hobby shop somewhere around 1982. 81 or 82. Now, why do you want to hang Ed? Is he beating you out on stuff or what? Hey, Steve. Yeah, because I mean, in the hot, dry heat, you don't realize you're getting dehydrated. It's like John Morris for me, Jared. He's another CB&Q guy. And I mean, I'm typing away to get something. I look up and he's beat me out of it. Well, I've got fiber optics here, but I'm down in Florida. Hell, who knows? Jared, he may be around the corner. And distance does matter. It's nanoseconds, but it still matters. Um, that there's only Lynn. There's never more than three numbers, typically two, per item. All right. I may be trying to get three or four items and typing away, um, and not even looking up. Only look up and find out someone. Typically, John. He's a nice guy. Don't get me wrong. We've become pretty good friends. He promises to share. Yeah, but Lynn, I go a month at a time. They'll store the product for you because the first time I bought something, after that show, the next day I called and I mean it was probably $40-50 worth of stuff, and Carol said, "Are you sure you want me to ship it? I can hold it for you, until you get more stuff." And I said, "You sure?" She goes, "Oh yeah, everybody does it." Okay, so like my last box was actually 2 boxes worth, and it was my May and everything I bought in May and June. And unless you're buying, I mean, at a train show, you're not paying the shipping. Okay, you get good prices and no shipping, so that's probably your best bet. But I mean, as far as buying something online, you can't beat Caboose Stop. I'm telling you, because A, they consolidate all the shipping, and B, they got discounted prices. And everybody said, "Oh, the prices on eBay are good." Well, not when you add in the fully, the shipping costs. And Amazon is inflated prices, even if it is free shipping. So, I mean, you got to look at fully landed costs, what it costs to get to your house, uh, and go from there. Like, um, everything I bought on in May and June that arrived in that box, that was probably $250 SRP worth of merchandise, and plus whatever the shipping would have been, and shipped to my house was only $126. So I mean, you can't beat that. Bye, Jason. Agree 100%, Steve. Yeah, RD shipping for use from the U.S. is a little different. Yeah. But if you look at cost per mile, $60 isn't bad. Yeah, the only way you're going to get something international at a cheap price is if they're shipping container loads over, or it fits in a mail pack envelope. Okay. How much did I total with shipping? Those 2 boxes, everything that I got, it was 10 vehicles, 4 pieces of rolling stock. What else did I have in that box? Oh, and 2 sets of people. Okay. 2 of the pieces of rolling stock were new. And I think average $25 new. A Walther's new car would be what, $25? An Intermountain car, $30. So there's $55 in new stuff. Okay. Then I had 5 pieces of rolling stock. 3 others, 2 old stuff. You know, probably $8-10 cars a piece. So that we're gone from 50 to, let's say, $60-70, and then the other one was an AccuRail kit, $70. So let's say 15 for it. We're up to $85, and $10 a piece for a die-cast car. Although most of them were mini metals or whatever, and they're $20 a piece. So let's just call at 10. Let's call it $15 on the average. All right, $150 and 85, or let's just call it 10. All right. So you got $100 plus the 85. We're at $185 plus 2 sets of people. All right. The 2 sets of people, $15 a piece. That's $30. That's $115. $215. Excuse me. And then shipping, $20 shipping. All right. Like I said, it was 220. Roughly, I estimated $225 worth of stuff, including shipping, and I got it for 127 and change, including shipping. So roughly $100 off. Hey, off the rails. Hey, Don, Mr. Lightbleed. Yeah, Jared, a Paragon 3, $140 each. Excellent. I got a Paragon 3 consolidated, brand new, um, and it cost me $350. Okay, and it was a piece of crap until till they upgraded the uh, decoder in it to a H series, and then I put a Keep Alive in it. Now it's great. I love it. Yeah, you can't beat that, Joe. Scale trains, were they the river counter or just their regulars? It doesn't matter. It's still good. Still a good buy. So, Artie, you don't have any dealers there in Australia that buy container loads of stuff from the U.S. that you could, like DCC Concept stuff comes from England. Okay, if you order it from there, you're going to pay an arm and a leg from shipping. But Iron Planet Hobbies, all right, is a dealer for them. They're getting container loads of stuff, and so the shipping is spread out a whole lot better, and the stuff's competitively priced. Plus, with Heath's discount and free shipping from Iron Planet in Springfield, Missouri, I mean, you can't hardly beat that. We get in the summer we get rain every day, every afternoon here in Florida, between 2 and 6 o'clock typically. That's one of the reasons why we don't have 100-degree days. That and the breeze off the Gulf or off the Atlantic. Oh, he has? Hey, when you're here in Tampa, we need to get you and Jason over and we'll run some trains. Okay. Yeah, if it's cheaper to get it direct from the U.S., even with the high shipping, you know. What I like about Carol at Caboose Stop Hobbies is even the new stuff. You know, you got the manufacturer suggested retail. You know, she's got pretty good discounts off of that. And I mean, Yankee Dabbler does too, but by the time Yankee Dabbler, you know, by the time you pay shipping and stuff, it kills you. Or at least Carol will combine shipping. I ordered something from Germany. Jesus, took 2 months to get here. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right, Jared. You know, if she says, you know, she'll knock $15 off, and you call her, how about 20, Carol? Oh yeah, I can do that. It's refreshing to see businesses still doing business in the manner that Carol and crew do. But then again, that's Iowa. Wow. Well, you're special, Anthony. Or maybe I'm special. Who knows? I swear I did not take the short bus. So, Jared, where do you live? Hey, Jerry, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for posting the juice train the other day. You made my day. I wish I could find out when it leaves. Oh, Jared, you're in Burlington? We go about, let's see, go about, what, 30, 40 miles south of Keokuk, which is, you know where that is, I'm sure. And you'll get to our family farm stomping grounds there in outside of LaGrange, Missouri. I dated a girl that she became a diet when she graduated. She became a dietitian there in Burlington. Chillicothe, yeah. If you, Jared, I don't know how old you are, but back in the day, there was a bridge going over the Mississippi, of course, in Keokuk, that was so narrow. Okay, two semis going in opposite directions moved over as far as they could, and they're clicking mirrors as they pass each other. Old, scary ass bridge. I'm sure it's not there anymore. And then there used to be a ferry. You could drive. Of course, I grew up outside of Chicago, but we go down to the family farm. It wasn't ours; it was relatives. All the time. And one time, my dad decided we're going to take the ferry across, and it crossed. I forget the name of the Illinois side, but it crossed over to Canton, Missouri. That was kind of fun. Tiny little ferry. It only held about 6 cars, I think. But you know, Jared, you know the bridge I'm talking about, then, huh? The best little whorehouse in Texas was outside of LaGrange. My brother attended Baylor University, and it was the oldest registered business in the state of Texas when they closed it down in 1975. And my brother went there during his college years. And then I had a very good friend in high school whose dad was a Methodist minister. And to get to the chicken ranch, you'd cross the river and turn left. And they were having a family reunion, big party out front yard of the house. And apparently these kids crossed the river and turned right and pulled up into their farmyard type area. And about that time, my buddy's dad walked out of the house with his collar on. They figured out they were in the wrong place. Oh, really? Swing Bridge is still there? Cool. That the swing bridge was the railroad bridge, right? Was Anthony leaving? Man, I can't keep up. Okay, bye, Anthony. I probably already missed you. Yeah, yeah. Okay. No, no. Already won the last customer. Let's see. In 70, I think he went there in like 74. He would have been like a sophomore in college. Well, Swingbridge Railroad and car. Okay. Cool. Now, somebody mentioned LaGrange, and Bernard thinks of ZZ Top. So who mentioned it originally? I don't see where anybody brought it up before Bernard. Hey, if you haven't been over to Mini Prints, go to their Facebook page and scroll down. They got the voting for dioramas for their contest. There's 4 entries. There's some pretty cool ones. There's one with a tornado and cows spinning around. There's another city scene one. Then there's a backwoods bordello, which is mine. I forget what the 4th one was. Okay, we're going to have a little contest. Anybody want to have a contest? I even have some prizes. Let me shut this train down and park it. I don't do contests very often or giveaways. Every now and then I do. I thought about this one today. And trust me, the prizes are not that big a deal. I got 1 prize for HO and 1 prize for N. All right. Okay. I got that shut down. All right, we're going to do our mail call. Mail call. Yeah, wasn't there a show in Galesburg not too long ago? And Iowa City has probably a big one too, I would think. So, I mean, we've got clubs here, but the big one, Suncoast, which is Robert Sacco's club, that's way up on the north side of Tampa. Hell, it's almost, with traffic, it's an hour away. It's on their website, Lynn. Not their website, excuse me. On their Facebook page. Hey, Sparky. Okay. We're doing our mail call. Da-da-da-da. And I only got one item this week. All right. And I got a package of like there's like 5,000 of these peel and stick dots. Okay, peel and stick dots. I looked all over locally to find them, and I could not find them. Okay, hang on 1 second. I gotta go get something else. Talks amongst yourselves. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, I had my wife searching for them too. And she came home with, well, let me switch cameras. All right. So she came home with these. I'm thinking to myself, well, they probably work, but no. No. Off the Rails is wondering why the dots. And well, Steve, the closest Hobby Lobby to me is an hour away. So or Michael's. We don't have Hobby Lobby. All right. Joann Fabric, have no clue. Target, again, it's another 15 miles away. So you know, we around here, you got the grocery stores, you got Walmart, grocery stores and Walmart. That's it. And unless I'm going up to Brandon, that's where the mall is, and that's where all the rest of the stores, Target and so forth, are. So anyway, Amazon, okay? And so I got the dots. See? 5,000 of them. 5,000 dots. Okay. Now, does anybody know why? Yeah, 300. 300 away, yeah. No, they didn't have them at my Walmart. Sorry. Looked in the craft section, the party section, the paper. They didn't have them. Okay. It's okay. I ordered them off of Amazon and got them. Now, Jared keeps, a couple people have asked the question why I wanted dots. Okay. That is the contest question. Why did I order dots? Already close as 9,000 miles away. You know, they're not expensive. 5,000 is probably a lifetime supply. But I need them. Okay, need them for the railroad. Anybody got any clue as to why? Ding, 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 ding. Mr. John Linton, you are the winner. All right. Now, how does he know? Because he watched my video yesterday. If anybody that watched my operations video yesterday should have known what I used them for. I'll switch cameras and I'll show you. Hang on, Snoopy, hang on. Okay, so in this view, in my operations, JMRI operations video number 1 with Premiere, which was yesterday, I used these dots. All right. Now, I don't use them when I do operations normally. But since I was doing operations on video, by the way, does everybody see the little guy going back and forth? See, John, I remembered. I use these dots for the cars that I was assembling. This one here I have to classify into the storage tracks. But I had an outbound to the Twin Cities, and I went through, identified all the cars, put little dots on the cars that had to be picked up for that train, so that in the video you could see what cars were, hopefully could see what cars were being picked up. Now, in the nighttime operations, it might be a little harder. Daytime ones, it should work as planned. But that's why. All right. Just something to look at and help the viewers follow along. Hopefully that makes sense for everybody. Well, that didn't work out. There we go. Yeah, John, I did. I missed that hopper car. The biggest car on the train. And the lightest in color, so the dot should have shown up the best. So, Mr. John Linton, you model HO. Let me show you what you have won, sir. We gotta find it. Ding, 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 ding. The hell is this? No. You have won a pre-owned, but I've never used it. Looks like it's brand new old stock, but I have never used it. It is an Athearn, Pennsylvania observation passenger car. Now, you would think you would have already sent me your address, John, but you haven't. So send me. You got my email. Send me Send me the address, and I'll get that in the mail to you next week. Now, why do I have that? Because when I was making up my Pennsy Broadway Limited train, I bid up for one on Amazon, and then I found the whole train at a train show that before the Amazon one closed. Oh well, not Amazon, eBay. Well, that can be a bummer. I had a train stop working on me this week, an engine. Luckily, and I've had the problem with this one before. It's a Proto U30B, and it was a very early DCC with QSI decoder, and it's got a magnet reed switch. And when if a short occurs, it throws this thing haywire, and the only way to redo it is reset the CVs and delete it from JMRI, and then reinstall in JMRI, change the number back over. And anyway, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I got it working. Hey, hi. It just ended. Hi. It just ended. Okay, I got it, John. All right, we'll see you later, Jared. Yeah. And I don't know why the Proto, it's the only one of my engines that does that. And the first time it did it, I was literally looking for a new decoder. And I happened to look at the manual with the troubleshooting, and because I couldn't figure out how to get it to work. And then it told me about the reed switch. So I went back in the box and found the magnet. Went back in the box, found the magnet, and life was good. Yeah, but Steve, is today the one day of sun for the year? Just kidding, of course. Let's see, it's 86 here outside right now with 68% humidity. Downtown temperature. I got two sets of fuel pumps. I got fuel pumps at the Roundhouse, and I got fuel pumps over at Berwyn Cicero. And then, of course, the refinery is back over at Lockport Industrial. So, Artie, does your program, do you have to take the engine? Can the program be set up where you have to take the engine to a location, all right, where the fuel pumps are? Like, is there RFID or something like that that registers when a loco hits that area and then fills it? Yeah, I was always amazed. The first time I went to Portland on business, I was in Seattle and went through Portland when I was a little kid, 5 years old, 1963 or so. And but anyway, the first time I went to Portland on business, woke up the next morning. I was listening to the news and the weather, and I had to chuckle because the weather person said, "Yeah, fine mist this morning, going to a slight drizzle at 10, and then moving on to a light rain, followed by a heavy rain this afternoon," or something like that. Okay, there's like 4 or 5 reiterations during the course of the day for rain. Okay, and I just had to laugh. And I was telling the DC manager there about it, and he says, "Well, Steve, each one of those things actually means something to people, right? And might require a different amount of dress. Or you could go golfing in a fine mist or a drizzle. You wouldn't want to go golfing in a rain, all right?" And I said, "Oh, good point. Okay." All right, Mike. God, the options nowadays on a model railroad are just about unlimited. You know, I see these RFID systems. Oh, that would be so cool. All right, you got to put sensors in everywhere, of course, but still, my issue. If I had a basement layout, all right, that ran around the perimeter of the basement and peninsulas and that kind of stuff, I'd consider A, block detection, B, RFID signals, etc. But the retirement railroad here, everything is condensed so much. Okay, I'm not sure any of that would be too beneficial. It might not. I just, there's a point of diminishing returns and bang for the buck, and I don't think those, as cool as they are, as how much as I would love to have them, I don't think they would. It's kind of like putting something like that on a 8x10. And thus why you live in the desert, Bernard. Steve, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Cool, Artie. I don't have anywhere to expand to. I am expanded out. I got one more siding to do. Union Station back behind me. A hidden siding. And then I'm going to put in some isolation switches over at the Aurora train station. And the reason I want to do all that is so I can park trains, but yet isolate them so they don't just sit there and run. And then I'm thinking of rewiring something. All right, I'll explain what I'm talking about here, and John Linton knows why I would want to do this. But hang on one second, I'll get to it. Let's put that up. Full screen, and let's go to different full screen. That one. That's the one we want. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so right now, and I may have talked about this last week, I'm not sure, because I've slept since then. Right now, under here is the main DCC system, okay, box. And there's the power buses for that and circuit breakers for that are for Lockport Industrial, the Harbor, the Meat, Union Station, Van Buren Street Station, Berwyn Cicero, Downers Grove Fairview, the farm and future suburbia, and the turntable, along with the drop down here, over here that's already dropped down. All right, then there's a booster under here that handles this and this, okay? And what happens is, and there's an auto reversing section to this as well, because it's like a double Y on each end and allows me to reverse the whole trains. But what'll happen is when it crosses from one power section to another power section, it'll pause. Okay. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So what I'm thinking about doing is rewiring where this center okay, here's the the racetrack is these 3 tracks right here, if you can see my hands. All right, you got main line. Actually, it's main line and the reverse of that main line. And then you've got the center track, which is the auto reversing section. What I'm going to do is, because I have a series of 4 bus lines, okay, for the 4 power districts. I also have PM42 under here as well for the booster. What I'm going to do, I think, is I am going to rewire this track and this track to be on that power block. Okay. That way it's the same power source, all right, all the way around for those. And then the reversing loop and all of the switch machines, and probably this yard, I don't know, I'm not sure about this yard, but anyway, the reversing loop and all of the switch machines, all right, because they're all stall motors, so they always are drawing current. As an example, I'll show you what I mean here. Tortoises and Smales and some other like knockoffs are stall motor switch machines. Down here, every engine is shut off. Every engine is isolated. Okay, the lighting system is off a totally different power source, but yet I'm drawing on the main DCC 1.17 amps. Okay, and on the power booster I'm drawing 0.31. So the stall motor switch machines, and there's 70 plus of them, are pulling just at 2 amps. Okay, is that right? Yeah, right about 2 amps. No. 1.5 amps. Okay, 1.5 amps. So if I put the 1.5 and the reversing section on the booster, okay, I take that off of the main. Now the most, and therefore there's 3 loops, so to speak, of trains, and there'd never be more than 2 locos per loop, right, with each pulling way less than 0.5 amp. Okay, so that's 3 amps on a 5 amp system. So I'd have plenty of power to run the locomotives, and I would all the booster would do is control the reversing section and the switch motors, and I believe it would do away with that pause I get as you change power blocks. Okay, that's it in theory. If anybody knows better, by all means, let me know. All right, so let me catch up. What movie do I need now? Let me go back. Oh, Goldfish Pond. Oh, yeah. It is not a goldfish pond. Two spots to put in a helix. No, I don't. Okay, so where's the helix gonna go? All right. So you're saying that I could put a helix over here, a 4-foot diameter helix, I'm assuming, and another one over there if I want it. Okay. No. So where do I go? I go up here for a second deck? Where do I hang it? There's nowhere to hang it. This is a glass wall. That's a door. two sliding glass doors over here on the other side. I'm on a different camera, so that didn't work. Anyway, no, I can't put in a second deck. There's nowhere to put it. It will not work. Bridge over the River Kwai, yeah. Boy, river lines. Goldfish pond. I'm trying to get caught up. Well, thank you, Bernard. What screen camera is this? I don't know what. Now I don't know which one it was, Sparky. I wasn't. You couldn't see. Well, hang from the ceiling. It ain't happening. It ain't rated for it, number one. Could you not see me when I was talking about? Oh well. Here nor there. I'll try to explain my reversing loops. See if it makes sense. All right. There. Okay. Okay. So, phase one was a double loop main line. Went around and then around the roundhouse and back. Okay. That was the double loop main line. Then I put in phase two, which is the drop down, the Aurora Yard, and then the lift out, or Route 83. And so, of the three mainline tracks that go across here, one is from here. It's the outer main line. Then you have the outer main line with reverse polarity. Okay, so they both come across like this. Oops, excuse me, like this. Then you have this line with one side connecting to the outer, and then the other side wide off connecting to the outer, but reversed polarity. So therefore, this middle one is the reversing loop. Okay, and it has a reversing electronics on it automatically. So you've got that over here on this side. Well, if you trace these three tracks around, all right, it does the same thing on this end. All right, with this one going to the outer main line, this one here going to the outer main line, but in the opposite direction. Okay, and then the center one wires off to connect to either one of those. So that's the reversing loop. So you can weave your train around, and you can reverse the whole train. Okay, which comes in handy. All right, and therefore what I was talking about in regards to the rewiring, and it's not that, it shouldn't be that hard of a deal. I should just be able to undo the T-taps under here, connecting these two lines to the booster. I can undo those and then tap into those two bus line, the one bus line, and connect it over to the bus line on phase 1. All right. Likewise, on the bus lines for the switch machines, connect those two. All right, across, and there's a padded mat underneath here, and a conduit. So there's a place to run those wires. But that's kind of the idea. The only unknown at this point is what am I going to do with these 4-yard tracks. I got thinking about something else here. So anyway, that's the idea. I'm still thinking about it. I procrastinate a long time, so I have a chance to think things through. No, I'm using Digitrax. I'm using PM42s, Artie, which are they're a mechanical contactor. Huh? Yes, I have there's 4 bus. Actually, there's more than that, but for just the tracks and there's a bus line for phase 1 outer. There's a bus line for phase 1 inner. All right. There's a bus line for phase 1 switch machines. Okay, and there's a bus line for phase 1 yard tracks. Okay. Likewise, they're over on phase 2. There's a bus line for the main line. There's a bus line for the yard tracks. There's a bus line for switch machines, and a bus line for staging tracks. Okay. All right, John, you take care. Have a great weekend. Yeah, no kidding, Steve. That's why I'm procrastinating and thinking it through and rethinking it through and then rethinking it through. You know what the hardest part of that is? It's actually not the wiring. All right. It's this old decrepit body trying to get into some of these places. Now, Aurora, I could take all those buildings off and the street and do all that, and lift it up. But that's kind of a pain in the ass. So the first thing I'm going to do is see if I can do it easily, and I should be able to, just by going through the doors of the cabinet, and then connecting the bus lines. Again, should not be that difficult. Famous last words. Limbo Lynn. Yeah, a bus line goes behind the house. You know, JMRI will do just about anything you want, once you figure out how to do it. And I'm happy with what I have on JMRI. I can still tweak some of my operation stuff a little bit, but everything else is working fantastic. So, but here's the thing, Artie, and John Linton can attest to it. And if you've ever watched some of my videos, that area where it crosses from the Lockport Industrial, there by the quarry, over to Woody's salvage area, junkyard, it'll pause. Okay. And part of that is the auto reversing, the mechanical auto reversing instead of a digital one. So like a digital one may help solve part of the problem, but the other side is that unless your booster and your main power system are matched perfectly, you're going to get that pause. Apparently, I've been told, because they're difference in voltage. Now you can use a little little screwdriver and tweak it and get it pretty close. Mine, as an example, the voltage on the main is right at 14.3, and the voltage on phase 2 is 14.8. Okay, so you got roughly a half an amp, half a volt difference. And I've tried yeah, as John says, you'll never know when it's going to do it. It all depends on the reversing circuit, I think, because if it doesn't have to reverse when it crosses, there's no issue. But if it has to reverse as you cross it, there's an issue. And it doesn't do it, or it minimally does it, when it's a single locomotive. Well, I double head most everything, so it's doing it for both locomotives. Okay, and throw a bigger kink in it, the bi-level, the lighted bi-levels, all right, do it again because it's drawing current across the two power sections. And if it was one power section, it wouldn't do it, I don't think, in theory. In theory. Bernard, JMRI is not that hard. Jason, Train Freak, and Robert, the Flying Crow, both have some good videos on JMRI. I've got some pretty basic ones that explain how I've done it, and they're all on a playlist. So you just look at the playlist for JMRI, and it'll show you how to do it. Yeah, if you don't have the hardware yet for a reversing loop, when you go to buy hardware for the reversing loop, make sure it's a digital. Okay, don't get a mechanical. Because mechanical, it's that pause. Digital is boom like that. And I know Roy Smith had that same issue. Yeah, but mine's pretty basic. Just setting up locations, cars. Well, hell, I'll show you what. Off of the Panel Pro thing and operations. Let me bring it over here. It's easier this way. All right, switching screens. All right, so off the Panel Pro and operations. All right, you got your settings, locations, cars, locomotives, routes, trains. Settings is fairly simple. All right. I didn't do too much on here other than the big thing there is add operations menu to the main menu. Do that, and then once you do that, then it shows up here. Okay? Prior to that, you got to go, I think, to tools. Maybe not. Yes, tools operations to get there. All right. But then you just go and you make up your locations. All right. Like you add a location and what it's called, and you just go through the process. All right, adding the location. And it's fairly simple. And what type of cars that location takes. And is it a spur? Is it a yard? Is it a classification? Or is it a staging only? And that matters. Because if you have staging only, you get an option to reverse the load. Okay, so if you go into the staging area with a load, you come out of it without a load, if you want. Okay. So after locations, all right, here's all my locations. All right, and then each of these have sub locations. All right. For instance, Aurora here. If you go into the edit, you can see that Aurora has the Aurora Farm and Aurora Fuel 1 and 2. Okay. So there's 3 locations. You put in the links, and right now it's showing how much of it's being used. So anyway, you just do all your locations, and you know, you don't snap your fingers and it's done. You got to work the process. Okay. And it wasn't too hard for me because I did phase 1 first and then phase 2. Okay. So it broke it up. So anyway, you got all these different locations and sub-locations within those. Okay. Then once you're done with locations, you go to cars and you simply enter all of your cars and place them at the location you're going to put them at, you know, as you do it. So here you just go add. I got 94 cars. All right. The road, for instance, most of mine are CB&Q, Burlington, and then the road number. And if it doesn't have a particular road, you can edit and put that road in. Fairly simple. Then the type of car it is, you got a list. And again, you can add types of cars. The length of the car, and then where you're going to put it on your layout. For instance, I'm going to put it at Aurora Eola Yard, and then here's all the different tracks at the Aurora Eola Yard. Okay. The color of the car, is it loaded or empty? Where you're putting it, the year it was built. All right. And comments, if you have any comments. Hit add car and boom, it's there. Now what did I do? What did I just do? After cars, locomotives. You can enter your locomotives. Notice, I don't have any. I did not put my locomotives in, but you can, and then you can, when you're setting up trains, it'll assign the locomotive you have assigned to that train, and it adds another depth of realism. I like the availability of just putting whatever engines I want on a given train, because I may not want to run. You know, I got, for instance, my Western Burlington manifest train I run SD45s on. Well, maybe I want to run GP35s the next day or run a couple of U-boats. You know, it allows me to be able to change. So I don't put them in. Then you got to make up routes. All right, here's all my different routes. Now, you can have some trains take the same routes. Okay. More than one train can use a route. And then finally, your trains. And here's all my trains. Right now, this is the one I'm working on, and it's the inbound Burlington Western. And it's the one that's over there at Eola Yard that I said I still have to classify. So I mean, like I say, it's fairly easy. It takes time, granted, but it's not that hard. Where it gets hard is this schedule, all right, and balancing your your trains and routes, so that you don't have like 5 trains in a row showing up at the Aurora Eola yard because all of a sudden it's full and it won't allow you to bring the rest of the trains in. All right, and you'll start erroring out and they'll say no destination available. So you got to balance and tweak it. So, all right, let's get back to where we were. Yeah, off the rails. When I started building this, all of my stuff was DC, and I knew I was going to make this DCC. And so 2 years ago, when I started building this, I went out and got the Digitrax system. And the only reason I got Digitrax, yeah, I'll tell you right now. All right, people will say, "Oh, NCE is better than Digitrax," or "Oh no, Digitrax is better than NCE," or blah blah blah. You know, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't effing matter because I'm using JMRI. Okay, and as long as JMRI interfaces with the system being used, it doesn't matter. Okay, there's nothing. My Digitrax. Let me get back to me. Do. All right, my Digitrax throttle. All right. I can't remember the last time I used it. Okay, it sits in here. That's where it stays. I don't use it. So when people say, "Oh, the hammerhead fits your hand better," or the buttons are bigger, well, the new Digitrax one is more ergonomically correct and it's got dials. And guys, all right, it doesn't matter. Okay, when you're running JMRI, for throttles I use cell phones. Okay, and on an iPhone I'm using Y throttle, and on Android phone, Engine Driver. I've got 2 different Kindles. The big one, which I use above the Aurora Eola yard, that has well, hell, I'll show you what it has. Okay. Oh, I gotta change cameras. All right. So I thought I changed. Change. There we go. Okay. So this diagram here is an interactive diagram. Okay. And it's not. This is the monitor we're looking at now is my 47-inch TV that sits above Fairview and Berwyn Cicero. But I have a Kindle over above the Aurora Eola yard, and with that same diagram on it, and it's interactive as well. Okay, so if you look closely, everywhere there is a switch, there's a red circle. And if I do that, you may or may not. You can see my mouse, I think. Yeah. Okay. Let's look right here. All right, where my mouse is. If I press, it just threw the switch. Okay. I'm not using a throttle to throw switches. Okay. I'm using JMRI. So and there's multiple places I can use off the 47-inch TV. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. I use a wireless mouse to control the 47-inch TV. And just so you know, oh shoot, what did I do? Hang on. All right, over there. That's where the 47-inch TV is. Okay, so I'm gonna take my camera and show you. See? Okay, and the Kindle I keep talking about is see that one up there on that mount? It's got that same diagram. So you just reach up and throw the switch. It's visually interactive. Life is so much easier once I got all this stuff working. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. So let me get back to the stream here. Yeah, Artie, now, don't get me wrong. I do not have my locomotives entered in the operations section of JMRI. I do have them all. You have to have them all. Well, I guess you don't, but they're all in the Decoder Pro section. So yeah, I have a list of all my locos and what their road numbers and stuff are there, and what decoders they have. Yes, it is nice. Yeah, Bernard. And I actually have a second Kindle. This one's a little bit smaller. Okay. And I'll show you. I'll walk you through the steps. I'm firing it up. Hang on. I use this one when I'm doing operations. I'll show you why. I showed you earlier the trains and then the manifest for that train. And that's all sitting on the monitor that this camera's on. So that doesn't do me much good when I'm over there at Aurora Eola Yard. And I don't want to keep switching back and forth from the switch diagram, switch panel, all right, to the manifest panel. So thus the need for the second Kindle. All right, so I got Kindle fired up. It's still, there it goes. Okay, so it's fired up, and I'm trying. Okay, now I got the glare cut down. Right here is engine driver. Okay, so I click on the engine driver app, and it comes up. So now I have to connect to my railroad, and it says Retirement Railroad, and that's, you enter that in JMRI. So I did press that, and I now have a throttle. If I want to use this as a throttle, like I use the Y throttle, all right. But up here, I can go press the button, and it gives me options. One of those options is web. So I press the web, and here I am. Okay. And I can have, you can see throttles, or it comes down to open windows, and I'll press that panel. All right, I get that same diagram, the switch diagram. Now, switch it over. And up here, can't really see it, it's too bright, but there's an option up here for operations. So I press on operations. Come on. I think my lower hand finger messed it up. on the touch screen. Well, hell. All right, let's try this again. Press web. Get the switch panel up. And as I mentioned, up here, it goes panels, roster, which is what's in Decoder Pro. I'll show you that real quick. All entries. And there's all my locomotives, okay? But we want operations, trains, and since I have a train built, well, hell, let's go back to panels. Now we're going to go to operation, trains. Okay. Now it has that list of all the different trains. Okay. And we can go to the CB&Q Western Inbound, which is that one over there. I press on it, and I get two options, which are manifest or conductor. Now, when I'm running operations, I typically run conductor. Okay. And the difference between them is conductor will give you just a screen of where you're at a given point in time, whereas manifest will give you all places you're going to. So we're going to go to manifest, and here it is. And I've got a list of all the different cars and where they're going, where I'm picking them up from, and where they're going. So I'll take this with me. I'll take this with me to wherever I am working. Okay, and as an example, over there at Aurora, I'll take this with me, and I'll just simply open the drawer and set it down here in the drawer. I want to make some hangers, but that way I have the list here of what cars go where. All right, and then you check them off as you go, and you can, of course, it's touchscreen, so you can expand it where it's actually more readable. Okay. So. Yeah, I mean, these are all old ones that I bought off of eBay for less than $50, I'm sure. I think they're both $50, and that one that's hanging up there is a lot bigger than this little one. So. All right, what did I miss out on? Okay. So anyway, I've been babbling on and on and on. So it makes it fun and interactive. I know when John Linton, before John moved away, okay, I'd act as his conductor, and he always give me hell because I'd always miss a switch. So that's when I actually put a touch screen monitor over the Aurora Eola yard. And but then I didn't have the touchscreen monitor in front of me here at my desk, and anyway, that's when I went and got the Kindles. And then he moved away. Oh, I'm sure, Artie, there's more than one way to skin a cat. No, Bernard. Do not download JMRI to the Kindle. Yeah. Um, you're forgiven, John. Don't worry. You download Engine Driver, Bernard. Now, you first of all, you have to have your computer hooked up to your wireless in your house, and you have to have your computer hooked up to your DCC. Now, if you've got what didn't you say you had one of the Digitrax? What are they called? Oh crap! It's newer than what I got. But anyway, it's got a built-in PR4 computer interface. So you just get a printer cable and hook it up, USB printer cable to the. Well, I don't know what your connection is, but mine's a printer cable. Yeah, I'm sure Train Controller does it a different way. And keep in mind, JMRI has been added onto and added onto and added onto and added onto, whereas a Train Controller is a more integrated system, I think, than JMRI. You know, like I said, more than one way to skin a cat, and I'm not Zephyr. That's what I'm looking for, Bernard. Yeah, you can use a Kindle as a throttle, okay, using Engine Driver. Or you can use it as a touchscreen monitor, also using Engine Driver. You know, as long as you, like I said, as long as your computer is hooked to your home wireless, and your computer is hooked to your Zephyr, okay, you're good to go. I mean, you can use a cell phone. Okay, that's how I stumbled across it. I had I still do have a Android phone back here that I had Engine Driver on, and I just happened to hit that web button, and boom, up comes these other screens, including the switch panel. So then I started playing with it, and then I saw Burr Stewart. Now, if you're not subscribed to Burr Stewart, he's in Seattle area. I highly recommend subscribing to his channel. He does some neat stuff. But anyway, he was the one that was using a Kindle, and I saw that. I'm going, huh. So that's when I went out and got the Kindles. My It's too hot for me. Yeah, Lynn, when I lived in Dallas, we went like 90 some days without rain, and like 60 days over 100 in a row one year. I think it was last year we lived there. Yeah, Burr Stewart on the Burlington Northern in 1973, I think is what he says. Absolutely off the rails. With the Kindles, I mean, my layout is what I would call medium small. Okay, if a 4x8 was a small layout, this would be like a medium to medium small. Okay, it's 9 by 22 feet. Okay, just far enough away that you really need some kind of controls at the other end. So, but like when I'm switching Van Buren Street, all right, I'll work right behind me here. All right, when I'm switching Berwyn Cicero, I'm here, and what I want to do is make a little thing like this that just drapes over, like the clear, hooks on here and hangs down at a 45, that the Kindle will sit on, and that way I can move it all over the place. When I say I use phones as my throttles, and are they ideal? Absolutely not. I use them, I like them, but they're not ideal. If I was going to go out and buy a throttle, the new TCS throttle that's compatible with everybody, just came out, a couple months ago. That's what I'd have, because it has a rheostat, a dial, right, which I think is far more realistic. There's good things and bad things about touch screens. Like this one, if I'm trying to stop the train during switching operations and stuff, it's so small that I'm not hitting it, and all of a sudden I'm past the magnet. So the Bernard, the mini iPad, I think would be about, and Steve, you can correct me if I'm wrong, about the same size as the small Kindle. Okay, I think. Whereas the regular or bigger iPad is about the same size as the bigger Kindle. So, and either one will work. Okay, Bernard. If you have an iPad on JMRI, either one will work. You just have to use a different application. You have to use YThrottle on the Apple stuff, and use Engine Driver on the Android stuff. The disappointing thing is I have a Surface Pro, and the Windows app for it won't do the Web Connect, or at least I can't make it do the Web Connect. So it kind of sucks. Hey, Ian. Welcome. Hope you and Cameron and your wife are all doing well. Yeah, okay. If you got Android, then Engine Driver is the app you want. And they're, Engine Driver or YThrottle are both compatible. They have, as a throttle, they may have different layouts. They have different options for the layouts, but they both function pretty close to the same. That's one nice thing about all my sidings already having isolation switches. Okay, for instance, let's switch views. Okay, I'll move. You see all these black dots here? They're actually isolation switches for all of those sidings. in theory, I could, on the bus line that controls these, in theory, I could put a double pull, double throw switch and go from DC to DCC. Okay. Fairly simple. Okay. Which is what I'm going to do for the trolley line. That's going to be over here running around Union Station behind me here. Okay. I've got the rheostat. I'm just going to hook up a 12 volt power supply, probably a 2 amp 12 volt power supply. And I've got a rheostat somewhere in one of these boxes. And a double pull, double throw switch. And then a motor man. And it'll run around this area here with intermittent stops at Union Station. Everything's just a matter of time and money. Time and money. Used to have the money, no time. Now I got the time and no money. What retirement does to you. There you go, Artie. I do have, I think there's one, let's see. Because I have too many passenger trains, I do have 2 engines that are not isolated at the moment. So. Yes, it is off the rails. But I turned 65. See, I've been running off my 401k and one of 2 pensions and Social Security. My second pension kicks in January. So I'll have more train money. Well, actually I won't because of all the super inflation we're going through right now. Now, Ian, I just don't know if a Kindle is compatible with the ESU cab control. If you got one, it's no investment. Yeah, download the I'm sure is JMRI compatible with your ESU cab control? Because what I'm doing is connecting via, well, no, I guess I'm not. Or am I? Yeah, you need to check just to make sure. I'm sure JMRI. I know that Decoder Pro will not work on ESU decoders, but I don't know that it won't work on ESU cab control. Okay, well then you're good to go. Okay, cool. Well, guys, we're pushing the 2-hour mark, and I I was wondering what the hell to talk about today, and you guys got me started. Once you get me going, it's hard to shut me up. Yeah, we got all kinds of Johns, and here as of late we got a lot of Steves now too. So Anyway, anybody doing anything exciting this weekend? We got less than 5 minutes to go. It's going to be here pretty quick, John, as you well know. Don't try to get a hold of me at 2:30 in the afternoon, guys. If you see me on at 2:30, something's going on. That's nap time. All right, way to go, Artie. Please do, Lynn. Please do. Yeah, Artie, I forgot to tell you, I forgot to comment this morning, but I did watch Fun Day this morning, Friday Fun Day. As always, love it. Oh, Bernard, no problem. You know, when I started the railroad, somebody mentioned JMRI and blah, 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 and I saw all this automation, and I'm an old DC guy dating back into the 60s. All right, I'm looking at all this stuff, salivating at everything DCC will do, and then I see JMRI and all the things it's doing, and it's free, and and then I'm going, oh crap, now I got to wire all this stuff and figure it all out. And I found JMRI to be actually fairly easy. Now there's been some things that took me forever to figure out after the fact, but JMRI as a whole was fairly easy. Uh-oh, Lynn just sent me a photo. Did you send me, Lynn? More weather? Oh, yeah, cool. You need new ink in your printer, or is that just the picture? Yeah, you mean the construction equipment, Artie? That is cool. How long does it take you to do all that? God, I can just imagine. All right, Chris, take care. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Yes, Artie, in answer to your question, I loved it. 45 minutes, that's not too bad. Takes me longer than that to put my videos together. Of course, I start with like 4 hours worth of video and typically cut it down to under 30 minutes. So, yeah, I bought new ink cartridges about a month and a half ago, and I don't use my printer that much. And my wife has her own computer. Hey, Sparky. Okay, we'll see you later on. Yeah, keep it up, Artie. That was cool. I enjoyed it. It reminded me of Gumby and Pokey days. I guess that's the cartoon that I first saw stop motion cartooning with. So, all right, folks. Mike, thanks for coming by. And Artie and Lynn and the whole gang. So, y'all have a great weekend. I'll have another premiere probably for Tuesday on the second train in operations. So, with that, bye, everybody. Y'all have a great day.